10 years ago, Subaru and Toyota decided to collab and make a sports car for the enthusiast community. 6-speed manual, rear wheel drive, 2-door, body shape and a LSD. It's the perfect formula and it sounds a lot of fun. They did create the Toyota GT86 and Subaru with the BRZ. This is the latest version with some cosmetic updates and some mechanical updates for the 2023 model year. Let's see how this fun sports car is. Front end of the BRZ is quite a handsome looking one, according to me. This is quite different to the GT86, but in only one fundamental way. The air dam is slightly different than the GT86. It makes it look angry. This reminds me of a happy face. It all comes down to personal subjective opinions. Some like that, some like this. I like both, so it works either way. It's very functional. The air dam is very big. You can peek inside, you can look at the intercooler and stuff. All the vents are functional on the bumper, which again shows its sporty credibilities. You do have DRLs in the headlights, you have a long hood, and again it's very smart and unmistakably from the GT86 BRZ Scion FRS platform, which is not a bad thing because they still look so good many years onto the market. When you come to the side, you look at the typical 2-door coupe silhouette and it looks really good. You've got some really wide rear fenders, rear arches, which hold the wheels really well. I wish the wheels had a bit of spacer so the stance would be a bit better, but again these wheels look so good in this gunmetal finish. 18-inch wheels, they look really good. You've got functional vents on the front 3/4 of the car as well, which are functional, which I really like. The keyword is functional. All the vents on this car you see are not fake in any way. You've got thick side skirts and again the sloping roof line looks very good. What can I say? Subaru has killed in the design department, and especially with this shade, it really pops in the sun. The rear of the BRZ is something I really like. In fact, I like the looks of the rear more than the front. Doesn't happen too often in any car. It's got some nice thick curves. It's very chonky rear. Bumpers are very thick, very big. You've got sort of like a diffuser in the bottom. Twin pipes, functional. You've got basic badging. You've got a small little notchback sort of look for the tailgate. The opening is kind of small, but the boot is decently big. You've got sort of like a mix of a ducktail and a lip spoiler, which is just the right length and it looks pretty good. Some smoke tail lights, and yeah, overall lots of things going on, but it just has the right element of simplicity and complexity and it looks really good. In fact, maybe with a slight aftermarket wing it would just look perfect. Now inside the BRZ, as you can see, it's a bit compact. I mean, it is a 2-door coupe, so it has all the rights to be. It's definitely much more spacious than cars like the MX-5. The interior is much more function over form, so you've got hard buttons for everything, and some parts of interior don't feel worthy of the price this car is sold at. So some plastics here, like the AC vents. The screen is just enough. Like, it has Apple CarPlay and stuff, but the touch response could be better, the resolution could be better. But again, this car is not about fancy stuff. It's all about getting in and just driving it. You do have the option of an automatic and a manual. So this is the manual. The shifter is nice to hold. The shifts are decent. You've got some nice AC vents which actually feel really nice. Very tactile, very nice click to it, and it's got a nice display for the temperature of the AC as well. Basic button for the traction control, so sport mode traction, heated seats, and yeah, it's very simple, but it's got all the bare necessities you would ever need in a car. The 3-spoke steering feels very nice to hold. Basic buttons for toggling through the MID, changing tracks. You've got the cruise control stock, which I feel like this is the Toyota part from the collaboration. You've got some random parts of Alcantara on the door, on the seats, and yeah, they've tried to uplift it over the years. It just doesn't feel quite worth the price this car is sold at now. When it was launched many years ago, it was acceptable, but not for the price point now. But yeah, overall it's nice. The seats are sports seats. They feel very good, very body hugging. They hold you very well in corners, very well contoured. Under tire support is perfect, and it just feels nice. Like, you just want to get in and drive, which is all this car is about. What can I say? You do have rear seats as well, but I would not recommend putting anyone there for long journeys. Maybe only kids or shorter adults, but again, even that is for short journeys only. You can put a baby seat in the back, so perhaps for small toddlers it's fine, but otherwise I would not recommend putting adults. I mean, you can fold a seat so then you get a more extended boot space, which then just makes it a two-seater with a practical boot. Maybe that's how you should live with your BRZ. I'm now behind the wheel of the 2023 Subaru BRZ. So let's see how this sports car is to drive. Let's get the numbers out of the way. This has a 2.4 liter flat 4 engine, produces about 223 horsepower, rear wheel drive, 6-speed manual, also comes with our optional automatic transmission, LSD. Let's see how this sports car drives. Slot into first, set off, and you notice that the clutch action is pretty good. It's a bit on the heavier side, but it's not that bad. It's very much manageable in bumper to bumper traffic. The bite point is a bit tricky, but if you can live with that once you learn how that works, it's very easy to live with. The gear shifter itself, it's a bit notchy, just like how all Subarus are. It could have been a bit more with feedback, honestly. A bit more slicker because it would suit the whole sports car theme that this car lives with, so that would have been a bit better. But again, there are worse gearboxes that I've used, so this is not the worst. The ride is pretty good, even though this has 18-inch wheels with 45-inch profile tires. It's actually pretty nice to ride on bumpy sections, and then when I come to twisty sections like this, you can feel that the steering is so nice and the chassis is so well balanced. Honestly, it just handles like a dream. The body could have been a bit stiffer, the chassis. I feel like it's a bit too loose, so you feel like there's a bit of body roll when you're pushing it hard. But combine this with the tires and everything, it grips pretty well. This Pilot Sports, Michelin Pilot Sports from factory, grips pretty well. Again, it's very compact, it's very fun, very agile, very nimble, and the engine has enough grunt. You can play through the gears, and you can put it to sport, like it has a track mode, so it has partial traction control off. There's a full traction control off, but if you do the partial traction control off, you can have a bit more fun, a bit more slide, slip. It just is so fun. This car is a great package where you can have fun on your B roads and take it to work every day. Couple that with decent efficiency, it's actually not that bad at all. It's so fun. Wow, you can just bang through the gears. It's so nice. You can bang through the gears and just hear the engine, the exhaust. It's very subtle, so it's just the perfect amount, not overly intrusive for daily driving. The engine is also pretty efficient, so on highways you can get 7.5 liters per 100. In the city it drops to about 9.5, which is very commendable for an engine of this size and of this nature. It's supposed to be sporty, so it's very, very nice. Kudos to Subaru for tuning this engine so beautifully. In conclusion then, the 2023 Subaru BRZ. Well, with the updates for the 2023 model year, it looks really good. It's got more power. It's insanely fun to drive as well. The engine is pretty peppy and it's decently efficient, but the reliability is a hit or miss. But worry not. The aftermarket world has lots of options and solutions, which people have been doing all over the world. At around $40,000 to $45,000 Korean for this Sportec variant, which is one of the top of the line variants, it has all the basic kit you could ever need. And considering how volatile the enthusiast car market is now with prices, people asking whatever, this is pretty well priced and something you can have fun on the B roads and daily to work as well. If you were in the market to buy something fun, this should definitely be on there on your list.